everybody. Welcome live to the Jim Master Show, live entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series. We greet everybody watching literally from all around the world. We've been getting your comments. We've been getting your messages. We've been getting your notes and your texts and your social media posts. Thanks for all the love and support of our entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series coming at you from America. We're here in the New York area. That's where the show is housed and broadcast from. And we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes of our series we've done. You can go back and binge watch all of them. Have a good time with us and with each other. Wherever you're watching around the world, thanks so much for sharing some time with us. And we're very excited to have our good friend, Jonathan Antoine, back to the show. This is his second engagement, his return visit to the Jim Masters Show live series. And it's so exciting to have him here. I know you guys are very, very happy to have him here as well. You've been talking about it and sharing on social media, which we really, really appreciate. Of course, he's an extraordinary, renowned tenor. You may remember his appearance on Britain's Got Talent, of course, with Charlotte. And when that happened, boy, the world opened up and everything exploded for both of them. And it was really absolutely an extraordinary experience, which Jonathan has talked about quite often. Matter of fact, you can actually see the first conversation we had with Jonathan Antoine. If you just scroll back and binge watch on our episodes here on our channel, it was an extraordinary, epic conversation that many of you said you really enjoyed. So I said, you know what? Let's connect with my friend Jonathan once again. Welcome him back, into the new year and see some of the cool things he's been working on since we chatted last, and some new things that he's working on that are going to be coming out. There is a documentary he's working on, which is very, very exciting. And then, of course, we've got to get updates on Willow, Polly, and Pandora. There would be no conversation with Jonathan if we did not have updates on how Willow and Polly and Pandora are doing. And those are not his backup singers or dancers. If you're not sure who they are, you shall find out here on the Jim Masters Show live series. Again, really an iconic superstar in so many levels. And I was just chatting backstage. I chat with the guests just before we start the show live. We were catching up on our careers and our lives. One of the great things about Jonathan, I can talk about all of the exquisite things he's done within the world of music. And you guys know that. All the albums, all of the stage performances, the touring and everything else. But, and of course, the wonderful collaboration with Diane Warren and a good friend of mine, Greg Field, who's a prolific musician, a composer, drummer, also husband of Monica Mancini, the daughter of Henry Mancini. She's a dear friend as well. You guys know all the great experience of Jonathan. But what I think is what really resonates with people is he wears his heart on his sleeve. He really does. He's very real. He's authentic. He cares about the music. He's passionate. Way back before the music career exploded, he wanted to be a writer. He loves painting. He loves gardening. He loves taking care of his pets. He loves his family. He loves his fans. He's got a wonderful relationship with his fans. And if you are fans of his, which I'm sure you are, or if you don't know of him yet, you shall with this episode of our show. He's so gracious with the fans as well. And I think that's, working in these industries as we do in the public eye, it's very important to always acknowledge those who support you and celebrate you on so many different levels. And Jonathan is somebody who has always done that. Very gracious, very affable, funny. He rolls with the punches. He's witty. But that voice, whoa, if you have not heard his voice, it is unbelievable. It's electric. It'll take the roof off your house. It is so powerful. And again, he is somebody that music came his way. He was discovered and then propelled. And he's just beloved in so many different ways. And, he's also a very charitable person as well. He gives back, which I think is such a great thing. He loves to give back to the community. This, of course, that wonderful collaboration with Diane Warren, which is an extraordinary thing. And you, of course, those of you who are super fans, all of the discography. We have some of it. Matter of fact, here is a great shot with Greg Field and Diane and Jonathan when they were working together, which was really fantastic. There's that album by request, an amazing collaboration, and some of the other extraordinary from his discography, albums and singles and so much more. Of course, you guys know all of these, and I'm sure you have these in the collection going all the way back. And these are just a few of them here that we're showing. But again, he really is somebody that is, and there he is. We'll talk about that photo in just a minute. We just wanted to scoop that up. There he is, actually, there in London doing his thing. It's really cool to have him here. Thanks again, everybody. If you'd like to comment during the show, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. You can comment in our chat room. Be sure and give this episode a thumbs up, like, and also, of course, leave a comment underneath the episode in the comments section. We love, love, love hearing from everybody around the world. It really is a blessing to have you here and a blessing to have our friend Jonathan Antoine here as well. So without further ado, we're going to find out what he's been up to since he was here last and stopped by what we call Lovity Hall on the Jim Masters Show. That's right, Lovity Hall. Here is our very special guest, the one and only Jonathan Antoine is in the house. Hey, Jonathan.
Hello. It is an
How are
pleasure.
you?
Oh, I'm very well, very well. How are you? How have you been?
I am doing very well. See, I said heart on the sleeve. He wants to know how I'm doing as well. I love that. We are kindred spirits. Doing brilliantly. Very, very busy. A lot of traveling. Hosting all kinds of TV shows. I work, television and radio professionally as a host, presenter, journalist, and all entertainer. So very, very busy. It's been a terrific start to the year. And how about you? Since we chatted last, how busy have you been, my friend?
It might be easier to start counting the things that I haven't been
done, right?
Yeah. So as you say, I've got the documentary that I've been working on.
Yes.
In earnest. I mean, Christmas of last year, of 2023, was wild. It was wild.
Yeah.
It was my first time in Australia.
Yes.
The carols in the domain at Sydney, which is 50,000 odd people outside in the beautiful sort of summer evening heat of Sydney, and the reception I got before the performance, during the performance, and afterwards, it was all just incredible. And to have a lot of that captured and be on film is remarkable. It's really remarkable.
Yes. So that was the first time in Australia?
First time.
Wow.
More or less the first time in the Southern Hemisphere, really.
Right. That's quite a flight, huh? It's a little lengthy. Bring snacks.
Yeah, it was kind of confusing. It was supposed to be like a direct flight, but you kind of still get off and then get back on. But it's airports and planes are my weakness, which is kind of not the best when you're when you travel for work.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, going all over the place. But that was quite an experience. You're still on the high of that experience, right, Jonathan?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That is incredible. Wow.
I can barely begin to explain just how gracious and how accepting people have been of me as I've travelled through this life in general. I was able to announce on Australian TV on Channel 7 that I was diagnosed with autism as well.
Right. And bless you for doing that, because not everybody would do that. And I think I saw that clip and from Channel 7 in Australia, and I think it's such a beautiful thing because there are those out there who also, might have that or know somebody who does. And sometimes they don't, talk about it, or they don't know how to express themselves, or they feel lost or alone. So the fact they see here somebody who has worked very hard for what he has, who really cares about what he does and is passionate about it and really loves expressing himself through music and through his personality, somebody be so open and real about it, it sort of puts it at ease for others, and they feel less alone. So I think it's a beautiful thing that you have expressed that and shared that with the world, Jonathan. Hats off to you.
Oh, thank you very much. I really, that is what I hope to achieve. If I can, you know, not everyone has to talk about it. Not everyone has to talk about themselves and give away everything. But if they want to talk about it and feel that they can't, and then I can, you know, maybe give them a word, you know, that helps them find a way to describe how they feel, or to express themselves in general. That is the greatest victory of all for me. Yeah, and to go through life, you know, the last 28 years as it was, not really, not knowing, not having an explanation for some of my peculiarities, one could say. It's been a sort of, it's been a challenge, but to now have that is oh, it's quite something.
You know, sometimes when people find out various things about themselves, they find out that sometimes when you do have different things, like some people have OCD and things of that nature, that actually it helps them in certain areas of their life. It actually, you find sort of ways to take maybe what some may consider lemons, and you turn them into lemonade. So that you may, when you look back now and review, say, you know, some of those different ways I thought about things or did things or handle things or whatever, actually I can take those and I can work with them in a positive way, right?
Yeah, a lot of the time, um, dysfunction and function are really sort of almost the same side of one coin, really. You know, it's one person's strangeness is another person's normality.
Right. Or in this case, uniqueness, right? You to
Uniqueness.
be,
Let's.
you like that? See,
Yes.
that's the word, right? Unique, unique. You know, we are all individuals. Exactly right. So, you know, you've had, since we chatted last, the wonderful opportunity to work with Greg Field,
Yeah.
Diane
Yeah.
Warren. How did that opportunity come your way, and what was that experience like?
I can hardly remember how do these things happen to me.
How do
You know,
these things happen?
uh,
You wake up, the phone rings, and boom.
yeah, I think, you know, very. I'm not a great phone talker, but Instagram I can do, and
Yes.
Diane quite literally sent a message over Instagram, and
Wow.
that's how it all started, I guess.
Yeah.
She kind of, you know, planted that seed of like, well, because I'd sang things that she'd done before, and we had, you know, this relationship. I did EOC when that was, you know, all part of tied into the Oscars and everything. That was super exciting and fun, and you know, we had a lovely amicable relationship, and so we decided, yeah, let's do a little something together. Let's see what fruits this wonderful thing shall bear. You know? And
Wow.
of course, Greg is the our sort of go between. He's the middleman, and he's the producer, and
Yeah.
he made us sound pretty wonderful, of course, as he does. And man, it all that feels like practically a lifetime ago now.
It's
It's
amazing,
so
isn't it?
bizarre. It really
I,
is.
you know, when you look back at it, so much has happened in such, you know, quick amount of time. And as the years roll on, that moment there, just to remind folks, or folks tuning in for the first time, discovering you here on our show, you know, here you come on, and you could see, you know, Simon and others a little skeptical. Gee, what is this duo? What are they about? What's going to happen? And then you open your voice, and she opens her voice too. And you guys just, wow, that audience on Britain's Got Talent. Um, what was that experience like? What was the feeling? Of course, there's nerves and what's going on and all the lights and cameras. There's that whole thing. But then just that experience, you go from being Jonathan, you know, this performer and somebody who cares about it all, and then all of a sudden the notoriety and popularity, whoosh, and then everybody wants to know who this Jonathan and Antoine is, and Charlotte as well. What was that like for you?
Oh, well, absolute power corrupts absolutely. They say, I was well, this was 11 years ago. I was a 17-year-old boy, who, I mean, I thought I knew a lot more about the world than I did, of course, as I think we all do at 17. And it I suppose it did change me. As to whether it changed me eventually for the better or the worse, I think frankly is still to be determined. Um, just being on that stage and kind of knowing in that moment when you stand on that stage and you see the reaction of the people, you kind of know, oh, something something more is going to happen from this. This is the beginning of something, and it's it's a challenging feeling. It's a challenging feeling to battle with that and to be like, oh, I'm the big and all, but simultaneously, you must retain some sense of
Who you are.
groundedness.
Yeah.
Groundedness, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Were you able to do that? Um,
Eventually, yeah, I'm still figuring out who I am, right? And I think I've
yes.
got a little bit of time left to do that. I'm 29 now, I think. So I'm hopefully
Yes,
I'll
you
be
are 29.
ho-
Yes.
hopefully I'll be a person in the next few couple of years.
29 is that came fast, didn't it?
Oh yeah,
And you
I'll
just
be
had a birthday just a couple of weeks ago, right?
yeah, 13th of January. So freshly 29, freshly. I was in Miami for it.
Were
Um,
you?
yeah, it was just a brief getaway with mum, well, with the family. But it's mum's birthday's 6 days after mine, so we celebrate together.
And Jonathan was the captain of the yacht.
We did.
There you
We
go.
we
You're in
went
your
out.
happy place there, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I probably had on some Sleep Token, a band I've been enjoying. It's blasting in it, but it's being out on the water is
Oh,
very very special
yes.
to me. Yeah,
Me too.
it's
I'm an ocean person, grew up near the ocean within, blocks of it. And it's just there's something very grounding, something very peaceful. And the ocean is bigger than you, bigger than
mm,
us, and more powerful than us. But, it provides such beauty and a constant, the tide coming in and out. No matter what goes on in life, you can go to the ocean and the tide comes in and out. And there's just something very grounding about it. So you had a wonderful time in Miami, huh?
I did, yeah, and it's that grounding thing, but it's also sort of cosmic as well, right? We call it bigger
Yes.
than us. It's like we've got the stars on Earth as well. It's very magic. My grandma, she lived in a place called Grimsby, on the coast of the UK, and it was a very short way down to the beaches there. So that's it's a special place, very special.
Absolutely right. So 29. Happy birthday.
Thank you,
Congratulations, huh?
thank you.
I think that's fantastic.
I
Wow.
made it. I made it.
You made it. That's it. Next stop 30. And that'll
Yeah.
go by in a New York minute too.
Well. I
You
mean, it's already February.
know what
Huh?
happens.
Well,
Now, I teased a little bit in the introduction. I said there is also Willow and Polly and Pandora, and they are not your backup singers or your backup dancers,
my
although
band.
maybe sometimes they're at the house they might be. Tell us about them and how are they?
Well, they're all doing very well. They've all got their own peculiarities. I should say, for those uninitiated, they are cats. I'm very much sort of an animal person in general. We've got Polly and Pandora, who are siblings, we've had them since at least 2006. So they're old ladies now, and somehow they are still trucking along absolutely wonderfully. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point you heard perhaps Polly's. She's got a very distinctive and strange, funny, very funny meow. So maybe. And then Willow
Soprano
is.
or alto or
I mean, I
yeah,
couldn't. Let's go bass baritone.
yeah.
And then Willow is the baby, and so we had this lovely cat, Crystal Tips, when I was much younger, since I was like 2 years old, I think. And so she passed away at some point, and then the lovely Liam Toner and Sarah Ings from Sony actually set up at Battersea, the cats and dogs home, this beautiful little cat called Willow for us to go and collect. I had no idea, so I got up on that day in 2014 and was sort of shepherded along to Battersea, and I found myself in the room with this tiny little kitten who was absolutely terrified of me. And after many years, she has warmed up to me, and particularly just after this little stint away, because I had my room. As you can perhaps see, my room got redone. I've got a nice background here now. But because of that, she felt, I think, safe to come and explore it whilst I was away. And now she's in here a lot more and a lot more attached. So good things come, from absence makes the heart grow fonder, as they say.
That is so true. Absolutely. Matter of fact, we have one of the photos.
Polly, that's Polly.
Have they ever inspired your music at all in any way, the three of them?
I mean, they are. Whenever I'm not in the UK, they're always on my mind. So while I'm singing, they are constantly my inspiration in a way, And I mean, it's funny. Willow in particular, she talks. She's a talking cat. I just revealed a scientific anomaly on the show.
I was going to say, that's another exclusive here on our show, the talking cat.
Yeah, so I will mimic her pitches, and so we'll have like these little sing-offs basically between the two of us. So
who wins?
I think I usually get the last word in. Actually,
you get the list.
I think so. Because I'll sit there because it's adorable to me. So I'll sit there all day and just. And at some point she'll just go, okay, I've had enough of you. Whereas I.
I know, right? So of the things you've done thus far, and there's so much you have your hands in, which I think is extraordinary. And again, if you have not heard his voice, we'll tell you how you can get the music and everything else. It's absolutely extraordinary. It's so real and powerful and authentic and heartfelt. But of the things so far, are there a few things that you've done or opportunities that have come your way, Jonathan, that really stand out as like primo top things that have happened to you as a result of everything within the music career that continues today?
I mean, it's quite funny actually, because usually I say, the latest thing that I've done, because I'm just happy to be here, and that remains true. But there's also like this extra truth nugget in there at the moment as well, because of the documentary and how much that says about the journey that I've had and how peculiar it's been, and how in ways wonderful and in ways terrible, as as all great things are. That's to combine that with such a huge event with the Sydney Carols. I was out in Australia for almost a month, and I was shown such a wonderful time. Before that, I was in Vietnam, and my goodness, I was treated like royalty there. So just this last little bit, really authentically, has just been, it's blown me away. You're treated all sorts of ways when you entertain people. Some people value it a lot, some people less so. And to be valued in the way that I've been valued, just these last few months, it's priceless. Wonderful.
That's absolutely amazing. It probably has exceeded any expectations that you've had, right?
Oh yeah. Vastly exceeded. But I mean, this whole lifestyle vastly exceeds expectations. I try not to complain.
No. Are you still doing a lot of writing too? Because I know before all of this blossomed with this incredible music career, Jonathan, you've always enjoyed writing and
Mm.
painting and expressing yourself in other creative arts ways. You still doing some of that as well?
Anything that's not useful, I love it. God, why couldn't I have learned to, make things, for goodness sake? No, actually, it had been since around maybe August that I had last written something, and I've had this one idea for another fiction novel that's been buzzing around in my head for
Yeah.
ages now. And so just last night, or maybe 2 nights ago, I started working on just the synopsis of it, not even getting into the prose yet, but just sort of some story ideas, and I'm keeping fully zipped on that one. But there is a new children's book on the way. I believe it's on the way. I don't think it's come out yet. It has, whoops. But yes, so I did Jonathan the Porcupine with Kathy Gebhardt, which is the last one, which I really like it. I did an audiobook for it on my YouTube, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so we decided to collaborate again, and we've got another one coming out.
That is fantastic. Do you see any of them going to video and maybe becoming animated specials or like a mini movie kind of thing? Is that the hope with some of it?
With the stuff with Kathy, I can absolutely see that. And yeah, there's such beautiful imagery there, in my opinion. With the sort of more bizarre personal writings, I try and write stuff that would be like unfilmable, just crazy grand scale stuff. So it would be really cool, but I try and make these huge, larger than. But actually, the most recent thing, this new thing, is very microcosm scale, very small. So that could be something one day, maybe, perhaps, possibly, fingers crossed, etc. All of those qualifiers.
How about the music? Of course, people can't get enough of the music. Working on some things musically as well that people can be excited about.
Yes, yeah. I'm working on things beyond myself. For one, I've got some. Yes, it's for the first time, really looking into to passing some of the knowledge onwards. I've not done any sort of teaching before, and I've been looking into that, and because
That's a
I
great
think
area. Yeah.
my thing is that leaving the place, whatever place you're in, be that on the massive scale or the micro scale, leaving it just a little bit better than you found it. And if you can
That's
teach
right.
something to a future generation, that's super important to me. So that's sort of up there in the priority list on the music stuff. I do, of course, want to get back out in front of the people who support me and would like for me to be in front of them, for which I thank them. And I'm just figuring out the best way to get to that. Because logistically, those things are very, very complicated.
Yeah, they
Unfortunately.
are. Yes, absolutely. Are there places around the world? You just mentioned Australia. Are there other places, and you've been here to America and you've been to Canada and in other parts of Europe, are there places that it's on the Jonathan bucket list where you would love to perform?
Well, I'd like to visit more of the States. I've only done a few so far. It would be nice to do all of them, as that's always
Yes.
cool. Always a cool thing to say that I've done
Oh,
all the
yeah.
States.
Yeah.
I'd like, some more Asian countries. I'd like to go to South America. I've only really visited very, very briefly. Yeah, after Vietnam, after the way I was treated there, going back to Asia is pretty high on that priority list.
Yeah. Book that flight quick, right?
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
fantastic. I think what are some of the things that inspire you to work the craft as brilliantly as you do? Are you an observer of life? Are you always observing nature and people and things around you? And does that inspire you? What are some of the things that get your juices flowing and your creative prowess going? Jonathan?
Well, in a way, one of the primary things, you just hit it right on
Yeah.
the head with that. Perfect. I mean, I've I've said it in interviews, I think, before, that just to look out of the window and see that people walk by and they continue their lives despite, if you were, glued into the news 24/7, you could find a reason to be very, very sad all the time. I think, but people don't. Despite the negativity bias that we have a bias towards staring at things that make us angry, and yet we can still look away. We can still live our lives. That's incredible. That's incredible to me. So the funny thing, to the reason that I make music is non-music, right? It's all the other stuff that it can inspire and help with. Going through the day, having just a little bit of music on, really helpful.
Yes. Now, if we were going to come over and have lunch with Jonathan Antoine in his house with his beautiful new background and Willow and Polly and Pandora, what would be in your music player? What does Jonathan Antoine like to listen to?
It depends. It really depends. I try and cater to whoever is in my company. So I recently bought some records actually. I might not be able to grab them at this moment. They're just behind there. But I've got Bonobos, The Northern Borders. I've got To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar, Daft Punk, Random Access Memories. Those are some of my more normal normal things. And then there was this incredible Tasmanian band called Psychroptic.
Oh, yes.
Are like really heavy and fast and technical. It's very, very different. But that's my pleasure. That's I will listen to most anything, but I get my kicks from the fast, heavy metal.
How about as far as instruments that you play as well? Tell us about anything that might surprise people.
Well, got one of them right here.
Look at that. He just happens to have. Talk about product placement. Tell us about that beauty.
This is from a brand that will not be named. This is one of the Ibanez headless. I actually got this whilst I was in Australia. I like to, if I'm able, I like to get an instrument wherever I happen to be, so I can mess around and have something to do with my hands, perhaps more importantly. But it's a very beautiful instrument, really. Quite a nice looking thing as well as playing very nicely.
Now, are you left-handed but play right-handed?
Yeah, I play normal, quote unquote.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, high five. I am left-handed. My whole family's left-handed. Take the left hand. Boom. Yes.
Very nice. Yeah, me and my dad are left-handed, and he would play guitar left-handed if he played guitar, which he doesn't yet. But hey, maybe one day I'll teach him. There's a few things that I've got to teach him someday. But yeah, it's obviously coming with the heavy metal stuff. I started playing guitar in 2008 perhaps, so it's been a long-term passion of mine, and that's a lot of my guitars are 7 strings. I have a little bit of a collection. We've all got to have our hobbies, right? It's just I find it funny that my work, my life is music, and then my hobby, to get away from all the music, I do some more music.
That's how it is, right?
It is. It is.
So the documentary, and people have asked about that as well. Yeah. Tell us more about the documentary and what's that process like? I've had the privilege of putting, hosting or being involved in some documentaries as well, which is cool. And it's a wonderful thing when you're involved in them. Tell us about yours.
It's wonderful. It's brutal in many ways. Yeah. Confronting the realities of your own career, your own life, going back through your history, all of that is daunting, terrifying. It can be quite emotionally distressing, but I think ultimately it's worth it. Fingers crossed. Hey, I think hopefully to show where I've come from, where I've been, where I'm going, who I am, who I've been, and who I will be. And to hopefully give some people a little bit of hope and enjoyment and a smile, and to have a happy ending.
Yeah,
Fingers
right.
crossed. That
Right.
I think I really do hope that when I'll go beyond hope. I believe that it will all be worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah. How many days do you spend on it, working on it, Jonathan?
It's a hard question to answer. Really, it's been in development for is it approaching 2 years now? Maybe
Wow.
I could be wrong. But it's really been this 2023 was. I mean, it was I was working on it the whole year, so 365 days. It's particularly when it's a documentary about you and what you do. It's your whole life becomes a part of it. Um, I've made some spectacular friends, and great acquaintances, for those who want to take things a little bit slower, through this documentary and through going to Australia. And yeah, it's given me a deep perspective, and also a lot of hope for the future. Uh, I really think, even beyond music, beyond, I just feel good about where things are going personally. Uh, there will always be speed bumps in the road. Sometimes they feel like mountains, honestly. But I sincerely believe that conquering those mountains and seeing life from the top up there for just a moment before you continue your trek is that might be the substance of life itself.
Absolutely right. Beautifully said. It's so true. And a lot of it is finding that moderation, that balance, from the highs and the lows
Mm.
that life can bring. What are some things that you do, Jonathan, to balance things out? What's your go-to? What are the things that you call upon to keep things sort of stable and grounded as you have the limelight on you, as you're pulled in different directions, as the creative juices are flowing, as projects have to be done and there's deadlines and places to go and things to do? What are some of the things you like to do out of the limelight to stay calm, cool, and collected as best as you can through it all?
Good question. I'm milling it over in my head. I suppose it's the hobbies that we pick up. So of course, noodling around on guitar will sort of empty my mind often, which is a very very helpful thing to learn when you've got a my brain does like to chatter at me.
Yeah.
It's there was a time when I was very into Lego and
Oh,
building
yeah.
models and stuff. That's also part of that getting into a Zen sort of flow state. Um, I watch and listen to a lot of stuff. You'll see in sort of candid pictures of me. I always have a pair of like big chunky headphones on, and that's because I've basically always got something pumping into my ears, be it music or like a video essay or a live stream. I listen to stuff almost all the time, and that sort of just keeps me stable, I guess.
Right. You're curious, you're always learning and you're always picking up information. And what are some of the things you like to listen to the most that is your go-to?
um, well, all sorts of stuff. I've been listening to like there's a good microscopy channel called Journey to the Microcosm.
Hmm.
That's just about cells and bacteria and all sorts of very very small things. I like video game content, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
People who have looked into these games and like picked them apart in such strange and peculiar and unique ways. People whose brains work so differently to mine, and that's really special to me. That's like one of my big life things, is just trying to figure out how other people work, right?
Hmm.
How how this complex web that we weave, what it looks like from the outside.
It's almost like, composing a song, composing music in a way. Is that something you enjoy doing as well, Jonathan?
It is. It is. I'm not sure if they were out when last we spoke, but over the sort of early middle 2023, I released, I think, 9 EPs of
Yes,
heavy
you did.
metal music.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just and since then I've just been I haven't really been in my studio long enough to make another one, but I've had so many ideas and little bits and bobs, and I maybe I'll release another 9 coming up.
You should connect with my friends. I don't know if you know Camille and Kennerly Kit, the Harp Twins,
Mm.
but we've worked on a PBS special together with our mutual friend Tim Janis, the composer, who's a dear friend, and I usually MC concerts for him at Carnegie Hall, and I've worked with him on many of his PBS specials, interviewing him and others that have been a part of the special. And they are two brilliant harpists.
Mm.
And matter of fact, they're touring Europe right now. I think they're in Germany and Brussels, and like you, wildly popular in the music world. And they play all kinds of different harps, but you would look at them and you would say, gee, I bet, because they're a Nordic Celtic harp duo, you would assume, okay, they're going to play a lot of Nordic music, a lot of Celtic music. They're into heavy metal. I mean, they play all of that, and they play everything else, but they, like you, they love rock and hard rock and heavy metal, and they can take a song that is a popular heavy metal song and do it together, because they're twins, obviously, on harp, and it's unreal. And I can imagine Jonathan and Antoine and the Harp
Oh.
Twins rocking out together. You're belting it out. They're doing the harps.
Yeah, yeah. It takes
They're
so.
based here in America. Yeah,
Mm.
the Harp Twins. Yeah,
Well, it doesn't take too much of an effort to come on over, one of us.
that's it.
And it
Come
takes a
have lunch.
special, yeah, exactly, a special kind of mind to be able to make those and not have it be, uh, I guess cheesy or whatever, to have it
Yes.
really do things. And yeah, I think that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool.
Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Yeah, it really, really would. What's a typical day like for Jonathan Antoine? Is there a typical day?
Not at the moment. We have construction here at the house. May well have been the same when last we spoke. It's been going on since August. So I'm I'm sick of it. So my day at the moment is I get up at midnight, so that I have the whole night, and then I do my workout, my 10,000 steps in the dead of night, and then
You've
come
been doing that, and
I
congratulations. You've made
have
a commitment to health and
I
wellness, and
have
since we've chatted last, and that is wonderful, huh?
yeah, it's been very grounding for me, for sure. It's to see the effort itself pay off. It takes a long time and it doesn't get any easier, but to see it pay off, it makes it very much worth it. And to be out in Australia and be having to buy new clothes because my old ones, they look like tents on me, is amazing. And I think perhaps not at the moment because I've just come back from Miami and I did indulge a little bit whilst I was out there, but just prior to that, I was
Hey,
in
yeah.
I was probably in the best shape that I'd been since I was like 12, which most 30-year-olds don't get to say. So it
That's
might
right.
not come from the greatest of places, but I count my blessings regardless.
That's the key, right? And I would imagine your family too is very, very proud and very supportive of you, and how your life has transformed in so many glorious ways, huh?
Yeah, I mean, my mum is on the at the wall behind this one. You know, we still live together, and that, I mean, that's a pretty clear statement of how much they support me. They still let me hang out here. It's that, you know, they've been my rock. They have carried me through this occasionally treacherous industry, and yeah, without them, I would be nothing, and I would have nothing, and I know that wholeheartedly, and I hope that they know that I know that, even if, even if
Yeah.
I might not act like it all the time.
You still take the garbage out, get the mail, mow the lawn, paint the walls, all the things that have to be done, right? We all
Right.
have to do these domestic things. No matter how much the light is on us. You know, everybody is fascinated by that new background. Some are saying, are there dinosaurs, cheetahs? They want to know about that. They're typing in comments here. Really sort of on
It's
Googled
funny.
about loving the jungle wallpaper and dinosaurs. I think they're trying to like bet each other what it is. Tell us about the new design behind you.
I think primarily it is uh, foliage, but there's I think just there that is an orangutan, I do believe. We've got a leopard up here that way, and I think that, you know, there are some butterflies there at the end of my fingers, and I think there's a bird in there somewhere, at least one or two. It's just a lovely little jungle scene. Mum picked it, so
Mom
thanks,
knows
Mum.
best.
She does. She does.
What's her first name?
Tracy. Tracy.
Tracy. Oh, Tracy. Yeah. So we've
Yeah.
been right. Well, Tracy, congratulations on, of course, the wonderful work of your phenomenally talented son. And Tracy, that's fantastic. That
Got a good eye.
background.
Got a good eye. She's
She went out and bought that background just for the Jim Masters Show Live
exactly.
series. And I tell you, Tracy, thank you so very much. I appreciate that.
I mean, you know, she styled me today. She's got my hair
Did
ready.
she do all that?
She
Really?
did, yeah, yeah, all that, all that. She's kind of a genius. That's where I get it from. Uh,
Your style, you go from casual, of course, but your style and the outfits and everything are really, really something. Tell us about that and, how you come up with the ideas for the different outfits and the different things that you like to wear and showcase. Here's another cool one. Look at that,
hey,
huh?
oh yeah, capes are coming back. Capes are 2024, 2025 and onwards.
They're
Capes.
coming out, huh?
It's yeah. I'm guaranteeing it.
You heard it
I'm not
here
actually
first,
guaranteeing it.
folks.
But you know, they're so cool. You can disguise pretty well. You know, if you've got like fidgety hands or you don't know what to do with your hands, if you've
Yeah.
got a cape on, it just hides them completely. That's super cool. In that picture, you swish it around and it makes such a cool effect. Of course,
That
Mum.
cape there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mum doing the styling again. Of course, you know, she just knows. She knows. She's even made some capes for me, and those are my greatest treasures.
Oh, absolutely. I don't doubt it. When you have an opportunity to have that happen and mom's the one doing it, that is so absolutely beautiful. Hey, look at this. While you were in
Yeah,
Australia, you met some new friends and some new fans.
yes,
Are
I
they,
certainly
that's
did.
another Fantoine, right?
Yeah, a new one, a new one. Let me see if I can.
So all of the Jim Master Show lovities, we call our viewers lovities, love and levity, are meeting the Fantoines, and they're all saying hello to one another. So, wow, look what we've got there.
uh,
Tell us about your friend.
I would love to. So that was that I think that was at the Channel 7. So just after I had done a little bit of an announcement on Australian television, we were doing some promotional shots in the hallway. I was just saying some very lovely things about Channel 7 because they had been very lovely to me, and people are coming to and fro, and so people come by with some big boxes, pet carrier kind of, but big, and I had been around. I'd seen some wonderful wildlife, and I love animals in general, and so David, Mr. Baird, who has been working with me on this documentary, he kind of calls out and stops them, and it results in that wonderful photo. And it was basically the last day that I would be able to do anything in Australia, and I was fairly sure I wouldn't be able to see a koala for my first time in Australia, and there he was. There he was. He showed up, and since then I've been sort of a little bit, a little bit on the koala thing. So I've got this really beautiful one that I got for my birthday.
Wow, that is so beautiful, huh?
Lovely. I love
I,
him.
are you developing a collection, my friend?
A little bit. It's starting. It's certainly starting.
Wow. There's a number of folks that are commenting. We appreciate everybody commenting, and they're saying that they have a family member with autism, and this is, a very inspiring thing that you're doing. In our conversation, as much as we always have fun together, is inspiring as well. And if you get a chance to, through your own experiences, touch even just one life, then you've done your job, right? It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful thing, isn't it, Jonathan?
Yeah, it absolutely is. I've been fortunate in my life to be able to sort of see some of the lives that I've been able to touch and be a part of, and it is more than any person deserves. Really, it's magic. I've made friends. I've lost friends. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. That's the Blade Runner quote, isn't it? It feels like that sometimes. It feels like I've been to all these fantastical worlds, through the grace and the wonder of other people, which when sociality and socializing can be difficult for you, to be sort of in engrossed and enraptured by love from other people it's magical. It's magical, I think. That I think I in a way is what has driven me forward to continue doing things and to want to kind of give back in what little ways I can, is that I've been so graciously accepted and loved by so many people. So thanks, everyone.
Right, exactly, which I think is absolutely a beautiful thing. It's
Yes.
and you feel that love, don't you?
Oh, every single day. It's you might wake up grumpy, and everyone has bad days. The world is not, it's not an easy place to live, unfortunately, but feeling that love and being able to reach out and it doesn't even have to be a physical touch. It's that ether of love and beauty and magic and majesty, that is all around us at all times. It makes this whole confusing mess that is life and the world, it makes it so worth it, I think. It was one of the many things.
You also, which I think is, some might not know, but I think it's very cool, is you've done voice work too for videos and other things like that. Tell us about that. Is that singing? Is it narrating, speaking? Tell us about that. That's another exciting part of your career.
It's something I've been certainly trying with all earnesty to get more into. A lot of the things that I've voiced for, unfortunately, have never seen the light of day through one thing or another. But there is hopefully something up and coming that will see the light of day. Ooh, fingers crossed. But yeah, it's at the moment it's more an aspiration. It's something that I've always wanted to do. One of my great like this is, if I achieve this, I'm happy, I'm done. I can chill out. Is to have some kind of to play a character and then to be able to go into a store and purchase a figure of that character.
Oh, how cool would that be, huh?
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Oh, that's bucket list, ultimate bucket list type
If you were
stuff.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, have a little Schwarzenegger doll or something, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
That would be cool.
Mm.
So that's something that is a dream and a possibility, without saying too much, that could happen, right? Where,
Someday,
you know,
someday, fingers crossed. It's
wow.
something that goes back quite a while.
As a kid, did you always hope that too? Did you always want that as a kid?
I think, yeah, I used to do impressions as a kid a lot. I don't ask me nowadays, but I think that's sort of almost where the singing came from. Actually, is
Really?
through mimicry. Is
Yes.
I would mimic just random voices, and then if I think that's why you find a lot of comedians, who do stage work, often
Yes.
turn out to have quite good singing voices because they know how to manipulate their voice. And that, yeah, I think that's where I learned some of that early. And then 10 odd years ago I was online, like trying to get voice work, like roles and stuff, and I
Yeah.
did all sorts of auditions and recordings, and that's where a lot of the stuff that never came out exists.
What's fascinating for everybody here in the States is when you have singers, performers who are in, Great Britain or Australia, what have you, and they sing and all trace of the accent is gone. You think that they're from here or from Canada. Like, and sometimes if it's a newer artist and you don't hear necessarily the accent prominent in their voice when they're singing,
Mm.
you think, gee, they must have grown up in New York or Chicago or Iowa or Los Angeles, and they're like, no, they're from Liverpool
Yeah.
or Yorkshire or
Somewhere
Sydney or Perth.
with a strong accent, right? And it evaporates. And I think that there's partially that comes from the training, but partially I think it's like it's what you listen to, and it's how do I say this delicately? It's not the most pleasant thing all the time to sing with a. I wouldn't sing with my accent personally, just to be honest. The I think it's about the phonemes, the vowel sounds that come out. There's probably some highly technical reason why the sort of American broad, sort of almost transatlantic thing is really nice for singing. But
It is, right.
I don't know the explanation.
So, other things that you are excited about that are in the offing of sorts.
Oh, what else is there? Hey,
I know,
got my
right?
writing, got the voice work, and singing. Those honestly are my, at the moment, my three main pursuits and passions. Again, I say, it's a shame that I didn't learn to do anything useful.
Ah, what do you mean, like a trade or something?
Yeah, but there's always time. Always time, I reckon. It's, I think,
What would that be? Do you know? Are there things that tickle your fancy that
yeah,
you
honestly,
would like to do?
I like working with wood. I'd love to do some woodwork. I suppose that it'd probably just end up in me making guitars, though.
Oh, how cool that would be,
It
huh?
would be, right. Because even I was while I was out in Miami, I was thinking about yet another guitar, despite having just got one. Right, I might have a problem, but even I tried like a guitar that was like $5,000. Like this crazy,
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
ridiculous thing. I was
yeah.
like, it's just there are certain things about it where I no way. Not I mean, I definitely couldn't justify spending that much money on it. But it's just there are I there are very at a point you come to have very specific needs, and and yeah, it's just interesting that you can there are such levels of specificity in the instrument world where yeah, it's this incredibly valuable thing can be basically valueless to you, which has a bit of a broader implications, I suppose.
That is very, very true. I was just thinking about that, pondering that. You are so right. And it's amazing because it can go in so many different directions too, which I think is what's fascinating, about it all. And, here you are, you're 29. So people have had a chance to see you for, a decade or so plus, which is absolutely amazing. If this Jonathan of now, and again, happy birthday because it's just a couple weeks ago. You're still
Thank
eating leftover cake. I mean,
we the thing that we always do, we always buy a big cake and there's
yeah,
always so much left over. So this time while we were out, we got, because we obviously were in Miami for the birthday, we got smaller cakes. We just did it and they actually got eaten. Can you believe it?
they did,
Can
huh?
you believe it? It's almost like science. You know I'm trying not to be a big cake person, you know what I mean? It's the with the health stuff particularly, it's I
Have you
yeah.
changed it? What are some things that you're doing now?
Mm,
What's your routine like now with that? Because
a
that can
lot.
also be inspiring for people watching.
Yeah, a lot of it is the cognizance of it. It's just being aware of what it is that you're doing. 'Cause, I mean, I'll I'll open a box of something and it'll just go, right? It's just kind of stopping yourself and being like, hold. If
Yes.
last night I had the thought like, oh, if I don't have, I had like a chocolate lollipop, and I had the thought, if I don't have this one until at least I've been to bed, I've gotten up and done something with myself, then that'll be a great victory for me. It'll be some calories that I've not eaten, and that'll be great. Just put it off, and be reasonable with yourself. Know what it is that you can and can't do. I think before, it's really hard to say actually, but for me, before I could really focus on loving my body and being able to fix the damage that I had done, which is, it's the frank truth. Before I could do that, I had to become as well acquainted with the guy in here, the guy in my head,
Right.
as I possibly could be, and know where my failings are. Really, I had to confront myself brutally, as brutally as I could, to be
How
like,
did you do that? How were you? What were those first steps that you took to be able to do that? Did you have others guiding you and helping you, or was it something where you just looked inside and with all the trappings of life and all the glamour and all the great things that were around you, just said, "Wait, I've got to figure out who Jonathan is
mm,
because it affects my mind, body, and spirit."
yeah, well, it's unfortunately it's a thing that's been going on, since 2012, really, since the show started. It's trying to figure out who I am, who I was, who I will be. I guess it exacerbated because I was a teenager at the time, and so
Right.
I was in that stage of still trying to find out, anything really. um,
Sure, yeah,
you know,
because things were thrust on you rather quickly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and it's not knowing about having autism and being in that way. It gets a little crazy.
it makes sense now. It's sort of the
Oh
puzzle
yeah,
pieces now fit. You understand it all.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, my phrase has been no excuses, just explanations.
Right,
I think
right.
that's a great way of putting it. Hopefully,
Just like Bob Ross, the painter, always said, "We don't make mistakes, we have happy
happy
accidents."
accidents. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Love a bit of Bob Ross.
Oh, he's
Yes.
incredible, huh?
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
I when he was first on public television, we raised a lot of money for his series because his series used to be on
yeah,
PBS
yeah.
first. And I remember those Saturday and Sunday mornings in the studio, and we would encourage people to call in and support Bob Ross. And William Alexander, the German painter who came
Oh
before
yeah.
him,
Oh yeah.
is another one fantastic. And the phones would ring off the hook. People wanted to support, that kind of stuff. Speaking of
Mm.
that, you've had your taste of public television, PBS in America, with a special as well. I mean, that's another feather in the cap.
It
What was
is.
that like?
The timing was unfortunate. I will say that.
Yeah.
Um, for those who are unaware, I at the tail end of 2019, I was putting out a PBS special, and as I was touring it around, as I was going to PBS stations, sorry, in the US, slowly something was happening,
The
and
world
the
was turning
world was
upside down.
changing.
Yeah.
And I remember, I
It
think,
was getting crazy.
things were getting crazy around here. And
What is happening?
that last day, as we were coming home, people were starting to wear masks in the airport, and I think, regulations, no one knew a thing yet. It was still
No,
March
no.
of 2020. Oh, I mean, it is a long time ago now, really.
Remember, people would always say BC was before Christ. Now it's before COVID.
Really, I mean, sometimes it feels like that, and yeah. So it
So
is
as the thing's going like this, then this other thing comes and
just,
crisscrosses.
and it was really terrible for me, in terms of the work
Just
stuff,
the
but
whole thing, yeah.
but it's, people actually died, so I can't,
In
I have
comparison, right.
no room to complain.
Right.
It's just
And it was probably, in its crazy way of having something like that, where you had the special and then the touring, going from station to station to promote it, and then having something you couldn't control, nobody could control, happen. There's a learning experience, right? There's a learning curve. You learned another piece about how it all works, and the industry and music and television and just all of this, that probably are little nuggets you can take with you for when you move forward with other things of similar nature, right?
oh yeah, I think because we did get that part in just before everything shut down, a lot of the knowledge that I got from there is invaluable. And then, I mean, COVID, we must always, I think, try and remain as positive as we possibly can about that whole situation. Otherwise, I think we shall all collectively go quite mad.
Right. Were you able to skate through without getting it yourself?
Yes, actually, for the entirety of actual lockdown and quarantine, and then last year, was it last year or the year before? I travelled for work, and then when I came back, there it was. I'd finally gotten it after all this time. But
It was waiting for you at the doorstep, huh?
oh yes, I mean, it's I'm still confused as to how it all, because sometimes it seems like I do a big thing where I meet lots of people, and then the next day immediately I have it. When I don't think that's how it's meant to work, but it just sometimes feels that way. I'm no doctor, holding my hands up.
I guess you must be somebody who takes the troubles of others and puts them on yourself.
Of
You,
course, of
on your
course,
shoulders are the world's burdens.
of course, of
Let me
course.
take that from you.
Yes.
Just bring it on, and I can certainly deal with it, right?
Well, if you can be like that for just one person,
Yes, right.
I think that's, that there is so this might come off as a strange statement, but there is so much to live for in the world.
Yes,
Really,
there is. Right.
the
What are some things that you have learned about the industry, but also, like you talked about, teaching others, which I think is a beautiful and brilliant thing to do? What are some things that you learned, not only about the music industry or business world or any of that, but also along the way learned about yourself during everything that's happened these many years now?
Whew. I've I've learned a terrible amount about myself. It's that idea of having, particularly when you make stuff, and when a lot of my work, a lot of my works are humanistic works, right, where you're interacting quite directly with people. You have to really look at yourself quite a lot, in the metaphorical sense. And I I have been all kinds of people. Um, that's I ask it to myself very often. Am I still fundamentally the same person that I was 10 years ago? I see often, I use the internet a lot, and I see often people online with the rhetoric that people don't change, or that they cannot change, and I find that very peculiar, because I feel as though I change every few seconds, right? It's I think there's kind of this over wanting, this wanting to be a perfect creature from many people. This,
Oh,
and I
yes.
think that contradiction and dualism, things that oppose one another, are actually the natural state of the person. The hypocrisy, in a way, is kind of the default reality of most people. You, yeah, you can believe two completely opposing things, and it won't destroy you. Amazingly enough.
Do you wrestle with that sometimes? There is this whole part of, life and of the industry where you have to be something, you always have to be something grand and something popular and hot and now and all of these things. But then deep in your heart, you want to maintain being real and affable and approachable and
Mm.
authentic. And sometimes for some people, those two worlds collide, and it's hard. It's a difficult, we see it sometimes with folks where it becomes a struggle between who they are as a person, but then what the demands of
Mm.
everything else within their craft require of them. And some of it might not even be something that they would normally want to do. Do you struggle sometimes? You seem to be somebody who, which I think is great, and I can plug into it. You evaluate, you think about things, you feel things deeply, which is reflected in your art, in your music. But you're not going through life with blinders on. You're not going through life with somebody just taking your hand and say, do this, follow this. You're questioning things, you're analyzing it, you're reevaluating it, you're rebooting and being re-energized, regenerating through it all, which I think is an interesting way to go about it, a unique way. But is there ever this struggle of, okay, here are the demands of what everybody needs and wants, but then there's some things I need and want, and how do I blend those two things together and continue to live a balanced and happy life?
Oh yeah, it's. I would personally say that, perhaps not every day, but that struggle, that dichotomy within me, is, yeah, it's always there. I mean, this isn't. I'll be honest, this isn't how I normally look, right? I've had my hair done. I've got a little bit of makeup on. I'm wearing a nice shirt. Usually, uh, I would look a little bit more scruffy than this, and it's, even that, just the like, doing hair and
You might
makeup
not be
versus,
the only one.
it's just the
We're on camera right now,
of
the two of
course,
us. That's
it's,
it.
and the fact that becomes it's the expected thing. It's just a thing. um I don't like it, right? I don't like it as a philosophical, like, ideal. I don't like it, but I put up with it because I end up liking looking good, right? I don't like the whole philosophical idea of like, oh, I have to be this perfect, radiant, beautiful thing that has not a hair out of place. But I like to look good and feel good, right? So you take the little things that you can out of the stuff that you don't like, and for me, to bring attention, or in some cases even to speak the name of a thing, is to give it power over you. So if you truly despise and detest something, the greatest weapon that you have against that is apathy, is to let it be cast from your mind. Yeah, because nowadays I think our greatest currency is attention.
Yes. Yes, right. And that can be an interesting road to go down because sometimes that attention it could be empty, right?
Mm. It's it. I think it often is. I think that the most people are looking for a confirmation of their biases, really, um, and again, that's kind of in some ways that's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone has to do what they have to do to survive. But the more you see things that may upset you, but that are potentially closer to ground truth, whatever that might be,
Right.
that countered to your viewpoint, I think the more you will grow as a human being, which it doesn't have to be your goal, but I think it's a laudable goal to exist with.
I think it is too, right? And yeah, I mean, when you take a look at your life and all the things that, uh, it encompasses, you're growing, you know what I mean? You don't always have to stay in that lane and be in that box. Um, you evolve, you change, and you live life, and there's different experiences,
Mm.
and I think that that's what enhances not only who you are, but how you touch the lives of others.
Yeah.
Music, is very powerful. It's a universal language, and it can really move and shake you to the core in so many different levels. And I think that, you have this ability. See, what I mean is you're not just a voice. You've got a phenomenal voice, but there is so much underneath the voice, I think, that is what people realize about you. Like I said in the beginning, heart on the sleeve. He's real. He's authentic. He talks about Willow and Polly and Pandora. Talks about his life. He shares his life. He's open. Um, and I don't think you do it because of a feeling of, oh, I have to stay relevant, or they have to have that information. You enjoy doing it because it further connects you to those who support and appreciate what your gifts are, right?
Yeah, I feel like it might be of some utility to people, and it makes me feel good to feel useful, right? It's to me it is kind of almost that simple. I Yeah, it's a very magical thing to be able to connect with people like that.
So, do you see yourself yachting again in Miami?
Um, well, it's my 30th next year, so
Wow,
I've got to do
that's
something a little
right.
bit, a little bit wacky.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, yes, and we will hear about it first here on the Jim Masters Show
Of
live and
course,
celebrate it with everybody.
of
Um,
course.
Look at this shot. This was terrific,
Gosh, feels like a while ago.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Life moving quickly, isn't it, my
yeah.
friend?
I mean, yeah. I probably. I don't know if there are actually any released, but this it just reminds me of the Australia concert as well. There's
Yeah.
there's a parallel there that That's very funny. It's very funny to me.
You know, I asked you the question when we were chatting backstage for folks who maybe, and again, folks, I encourage you. Jonathan was a guest on our show previously, and we had an epic, fun chat there too. And many of you discovered Jonathan, and many of you discovered our show through that, which we both appreciate. But you can see that full episode on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. When you look at, when you think about your life now, Jonathan, what would the Jonathan of today say to that young boy, Jonathan? I
I can't
love
think
the
of.
way you take the deep breaths and you sort of soak it all in. Jim,
Uh,
Jim, let me
Jim,
tell you
I
that.
could say some terrible things to that fool.
And you could
uh,
say my name the proper British way, because the Masters, they hail from
I
Yorkshire.
Masters.
Masters,
Yes,
James
Jim Masters.
Masters. But if you were to look at if you were to talk to the younger version of Jonathan, the 10-year-old Jonathan,
Ooh.
what would you say? You could pick another year. If 10 wasn't so hot, you could pick 9 or 11 or
10 was actually quite a good year. 10,
I
10
loved
was a
being
good year.
10. 10, I
Yeah.
loved 10 when I was 10. Because you're still young, but where you're a kid, you're living life, and you don't have to worry about all the adult things yet. But yet you are aware of things that are going on. When you're 3 and 4, not necessarily, but and then when you're 20, then there's the heavy responsibilities. But when you're 10, it's kind of a sweet spot. So if you were to talk to the 10-year-old Jonathan, with all that you've experienced thus far and more to come, what would you say to him?
The 10-year-old me, it's funny. I feel like you could ask me this for each different year and I'd give a very different answer. Again, it ties back into, I feel like every single day I change. I become almost a different person. To 10-year-old me, I think I'd tell him not to worry quite as much at that time. Tell him that things will turn out all right. It just it takes a little while, and the things that worry you now, it sounds absurd. It sounds crazy, but in a long time from now, you won't think about those things. That you won't even remember what they were. So try not to worry too much.
Spot on, my friend. That is an answer that a lot of people say. And sometimes if I remember to, I'll slide that in, because I think it's very inspiring for others, who are coming up the ranks, doing whatever they do in life. If you really do think about it, we obsess and worry about so many different things when younger, that as time marches on and we live life and we experience life, aren't as major and earth-shattering and as big as we thought they were. So
Oh yeah.
it could be very liberating to let some of it go and allow other things in your life to come into your life. It
Yeah.
allows you to breathe and bring other things into your life, right? And a lot of wonderful things have come into your life as well.
And I think that if you just allow yourself to fester on some of those things, they will turn into trauma. It's
Yes.
I think those things that we believe are the be all and end all at a time, we hold on to those and we associate them, with that vulnerable place and person. And I think if we can be more open and honest, when I was 10, I think I kind of been. Would I have been? I'm trying to recall, the ages of school and all that. Again, I may be a young man, but it still feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
I'm my biggest worries were like my friends going to different schools, and that ended up
Mm,
happening, and it
right.
devastated me. It destroyed me at the time, but now I haven't. And it might seem a little callous almost, but I haven't thought about those people even in such a long time. I've I've grown up,
Right,
strangely
exactly.
enough. Strangely
Matured,
enough.
and time has, passed, and exactly, you've experienced life and tasted life in different ways, which is part of the whole process, right?
Yeah, and yeah, it's such a difficult thing because at sort of 19, 20, I thought that I had done that as well. I thought that I had already been out there and done all the things that there were to do, and it seems never to be the case. Actually, it seems that there is always one more thing to be done, one last ride to go out on, and that to me, I mean, to some people, I think that can be quite terrifying, right? That there's always,
Yeah.
God, I've got to do this thing next and this, but
This, that, this, right.
to me, it's like, oh, thank God, there's still a point, there's still something to do, something to chew up and spit out like.
Would you say that you're chew up and spit out? Are you? He's going to be an action hero figure as a little doll. He's going to chew them up and spit them out. You don't cross Antoine. He's going to be a superhero. It's why do you love what you do so much? You are very passionate, and it's clear that you have, and you and I think we talked about it last time, because I've been told by family and others that I have it too. You have an old soul. It's there, and it's a beautiful thing to have, because it's a different perspective on things. Why do you love so much what you do in all its ways, shapes, and forms?
I've always in my head some very silly answer, like, it's because I've come to learn to hate it, to have some dramatic flair to it. No, it's to me it's a very simple thing of connection with people, and I've not always been so able or so equipped to do that in life in general, and so to have this alternate toolkit with which I can do things that I might otherwise not have been able to, it's an invaluable thing. So in a way, I love it so much because it's all that I can do. It's all that I would do. It's because it is love. I love to love.
Right.
Yeah, authentically though, yeah, I do. I think that loving and connecting and all of that is more or less, the meaning of life. So, I feel like I'm doing pretty well.
I think you are too. Have you thought of and have you dabbled in the world of acting? Because you have a dramatic nature, which I think is very appealing too. And I can see you, expressing you do it through the music, and you do it when you are performing, but I could see you as this,
I would love to.
Has that come your way, or people talked about that? Because you have a certain way you carry yourself, which there's a realness, but there's a grandeur about it too, which is very cool.
Well, thank you. No, well, you see, I think the thing about me is that no one quite knows what to do with me, so people don't tend to approach. It's I think perhaps my over openness has driven some people away. Who's to say? But I would be very much interested in. It comes along with the voice acting and the acting and the sing. It's all to me. It's all the same beautiful like performance, and just enjoying, creating characters and being able to connect with people using those is. So yeah, if anyone has any offers for me or a script or I'm available.
I'm available. It's a inquire within.
Yes. Under new management.
That's right. It's called His Mirror.
Yeah. And Mum.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's wonderful. She and I had a chance to, to converse back and forth, and she's She's wonderful. She really is very proud of you. And, when she goes to the supermarket to pick up the broccoli and the cheese and the milk, she stands tall. And you guys, your family has every right to, because you really, it's not an easy field. It's not an easy a music career. Even now too, it's changed so much, the industry, the record industry, because now you have Spotify, all the internet and the downloads. You got to push that out, and you got to move product constantly. And the whole way, for people watching who don't know, the whole way the industry is operated now is completely different than many years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I kind of arrived into this changing environment, and then it's gone through an even more ridiculous metamorphosis as I've been trying to find my feet. So even I've been in it for a while. I'm about 50% sure how things work.
It's ever changing, right?
Always. It's gosh, there are all sorts of things that one can say, but for the benefit of all parties involved, one simply does not say.
Right. Exactly. You mean you tend to be more expressive, and then sometimes hold your tongue because you have to, or
of course, well, you just got to know when the right time is.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right. Could you see yourself on a situation comedy, a sitcom?
I perhaps, maybe. Yeah. I've there are so many things that I've sort of wanted to do. I've wanted to present as well, to do a show of some kind. Yeah, I'm still this book idea, this new one is so. I want to start talking about it, but I know that if I start talking about it, I won't get as much writing done as I need to do. So it's.
Oh, so if you talk about it, does it get in the way of you trying to actually do it?
Yes, if I talk about it, I will get the that response that I would otherwise get from having actually written it. So I skip the writing step, which is not very useful when you want to eventually have something out. It's a good dopamine trick though, to where if if you don't want to do something, just start talking about it.
Yeah, right, exactly. So are you somebody who, when you set out to do something, either you set out to do it or you've been requested to do it, do you set very high expectations for yourself? I know I do. For me, I always, sometimes I've had to lower them or tweak them or just let up on myself. But I think a lot of creative people tend to do it. Do you set a high bar for yourself, Jonathan?
Funny answer, depends how much I'm being paid. Real answer,
Like I said, he cuts to the chase.
Terrible.
No, but well, you got
real answer is
bills to pay. You got to feed the cats.
Of course, yeah.
But the heartfelt answer, yeah,
is every time I put far too high expectations on myself, I want for everything to be impeccable, impossible to critique is what I want to release, which is as it turns out literally impossible. So at a point you just have to say, okay, it's good enough. It's good enough. We'll make it. We'll make it with that one.
Do you tend to be a perfectionist?
In some, yeah. Yes, I will say, but
that's how everybody answers that question. They want to say yes, but they're trying to not say yes fully. A friend of mine, she said she's a recovering perfectionist. I said, really?
It's. I mean, yeah. You
sort of
that is the right. That's the right word for it. Recovering. Yeah. It is like a. Yeah, it can be quite the vice. That is for sure. But after a while, you just get tired, right? After you've been doing it for like 6, 8 hours, and
Yeah.
you're like, I can't anymore.
Yeah.
Gotta go to bed. You know.
Right.
So thankfully, we all have limits at some point.
Absolutely right. And for folks watching who maybe didn't see our first conversation or follow things since that conversation, of course, going back in time just a little bit, America's Britain's Got Talent. The America slips out of my mouth. America's Got Talent. Yes, we have our version, but you guys had it first. A lot of the things start there and come here, and the vice versa. Well, our trade is very, very
Yeah,
healthy between the
it
UK
is
and America.
cultural exchange.
Cultural exchange, exactly. The tea that you have is very good. How it got into Boston Harbor, I have no idea. So the relationship, the collaborations with Charlotte, which of course was in the beginning and many years of that, and Britain's Got Talent and all the things that happened afterwards. But then, as you and I were chatting before we went live, a wonderful opportunity presented itself again for folks who may don't know, for you and also for her to sort of kind of create your own individual things. What was that like, that process? Because again, this of course is available as well, but what was that process like for you in having this sort of collaborative dual effort happening and then being presented with something, Sony and others believing in you, saying, I think you taking on your own thing would be good too. What was that? Did you wrangle with that? Were you excited? What was that like for you?
Yeah, and at the time it kind of felt like, okay, here we go. Yeah, this is the next natural step in this sequence of walking, really. And it's not until quite recently with the documentary, funnily enough, that I've really kind of processed it. And there are many things that I probably would have done slightly differently. The way that it all unfolded, in particular, but that's the majesty of the past, really, is that if you look back at it and you examine it in all the detail that it sometimes merits, you can find 1,000,001 things that one could have done differently. What really matters is how one continues on from it. And I didn't do my best job, I will admit, but I was a kid. I was a kid learning himself, learning the world, learning the ropes, learning a lot very, very quickly. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'm here, aren't I? So I must have done something right at some point.
Right, exactly right. I think you have, and people certainly have noticed it, and they continue to celebrate it, which I think is as a glorious thing, my friend. That's a cool one.
Yeah, that's I believe
That's
you can
like
get that
art.
on a
Yeah.
t-shirt. I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because on your website you've got all the different product, and look at you there. There you
Yeah.
are, nice au casual.
Yeah, very, very
And look, are
casual.
those all your guitars, or are you in a
No,
studio there?
I'm in Guitar Center,
Ah, you
the
see.
store. Yeah,
So
that's
you're testing a few things out.
I am this where I was. It just I think just in sort of in that box, the cabinet there is where that very, very expensive guitar I was talking about earlier was. So
Wow.
this, yeah, a little bit of
How about
insight.
here?
This is Abbey Road. That's Abbey Road
Yes.
Studios, famously, the Beatles, of course. It's, I mean, after all of this, you get the that wonderful documentary that came out, where you see and you can see these exact rooms and stuff. It's
Cool
quite. Oh,
stuff,
and there's
isn't it?
Greg. There's Greg.
It's Greg. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
There he is there. Wow.
Oh.
Uh,
Yeah, gosh, that must be a little while ago. Yeah, Willow in the olive tree. Because we've had construction going on at the house, she hasn't really been outside as much in growing in her plant pot.
doesn't that sound like I don't know. It's either sounds like a movie or a poem or a song. Willow in the Olive Tree.
I know. Yeah.
That's just so, you know.
She's very
Yeah, very
inspirational.
pensive and thinking, and that's a cool shot too.
Oh, thank you, thank
That's
you.
yeah.
Think oh God, I don't want to get it wrong. I think that's Simon Fowler, who is just a
Oh, that
legend.
took that one.
Yeah, yeah. Took that, took the
Wow.
photo. He and his son Bo are both really really cool. I hope they won't think I've overstepped my boundaries if I say friends of mine. Um,
That's a wonderful thing. No, yeah, they'd
yeah,
probably be honored that you say that.
fingers crossed. We've done some really really cool work together. Cool guys.
That is fantastic. That is great. So you're excited about what's ahead. You've got several things that are happening, my friend, that are, going to excite people and engage people,
I
and
think
and
so.
and you want to at some point get back out on the road and tour and come to America and elsewhere, and you've fallen in love now with Australia as well, which I think is so nice.
I have so many corners of the planet that I love with all of my heart now. I have so many places I want to revisit, and so many places that I've never visited before that I now feel more open and more, after that, after traveling basically the entirety of the globe. Pretty, you feel quite emboldened as to how well you travel. So, yeah, next stop the universe, really.
Next stop, the universe, I tell you, and everybody's saying that they're very, excited about what's ahead, and yeah, that is so cool. It really, really is, huh?
It is.
Jeez, wow.
Every day I think like, what did I do? What past life karma have I accrued to live this well? What and you
Just
know
being you, Jonathan. Just being Jonathan. It's it's what it is. It's you being you, and I think That's why these things come your way. Not that everything is handed on a silver platter, but you have to work for it. You have to maintain it. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to doing this, and you know making it all happen. But I think that's what the magic is. It's you being you. Like I said, there's no airs about you. You're just Jonathan being Jonathan, and I think that's what people gravitate to because it's refreshing. I think I said that to you backstage before we went live on the air. It's refreshing because in these industries that we're in, that's not always the case. You can tell when somebody's superficial or somebody's blowing smoke, or they chew them up and spit them out. All those types of people,
well,
they
I,
exist, but you're just you.
I would even say that oftentimes you can't see those kinds of people. That's what can sometimes make this industry, so it feels so icky, right? But a lot of the time you have to really go through it. You have to crawl through the mud to realize that you were crawling through the mud, right? Which it's almost paradoxical, but it makes it is what it is. And after a while, you build a little bit of a sense for these things, but you can never be 100% sure. I just I think that idolatry in its many forms is a bit of a plague, really. And I hate to you be so strong in my convictions, but I really do think it. I think the only reason that you would want to be idolized truly is to have control over people, and control is a corrupting force, in my personal opinion. One of my tenets of life is that one should do as they please, so long as it does not affect the autonomy of any other person. That I think, which has served me well so far.
Yes, it certainly has, and it's I'm right on the same page as you, and with compassion and empathy and kindness, those things go far. You know what I mean? And if that's the kind of person you are, don't ever change. It's a beautiful thing to be and to live.
I think that cruelty and terror and all of these horrible things, they can provide you with a lot of material wealth in this realm. But the purities of spirit, the happiness, the joy, the laughter, and the giving of love will allow you to live beyond this world. Will allow your ideas, your spirit to persist beyond the simple mortal vessel. But and a lot of people aren't interested in that, because like what am I going to do with that, right? But I like the idea that something of me might continue on after I'm gone.
That's the way I think too. Yeah, it's a beautiful way to be. All of our Gym Master Show lovities and the the Fantoines, they're all talking with each other and they're so happy and commenting. We really appreciate all this love. And if for those that are watching this, because this will be archived on our YouTube channel, Gym Masters TV, show it some lovity, as we call it. Like, comment, subscribe, drop a comment underneath, engage with us. We're very engaging here and we like to respond. And it's really an honor to have everybody watching from around the world with our audience. You can binge watch this episode again and the previous one Jonathan was on. And don't forget to, of course, give it a thumbs up, like, share this episode, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Gym Masters TV, leave a comment for us. Takes a village. That's how we all grow and share together. And we thank those of you who have done that as well. And Jonathan, it's amazing. The first time you and I chatted on our series here, I felt like I knew you for years. And then when you and I, we've stayed in touch, but then when we chatted with each other about doing it again and having you come back, and you always have a home here, you're always welcome here. But when we put it together to have you come back through this conversation, I almost feel like you're the kid that grew up across the street from me. I feel like we've known each other because we have similar ways of thinking about life and how to treat people and how to be and to express our humanity through our work and through our actions and our thoughts. I feel as though that we've known each other for many more years, and I think it's a beautiful thing, and it's always wonderful chatting with you and having everybody join us. And I really, really appreciate all the time that we've spent together once again for another fun episode, but deep episode, and just take it. And none of this is scripted. We just have good conversations.
Yeah. Number one, right back at you, of course. It's awesome. And I try and be as super open and casual with everyone that I can, and some people are just more receptive to it than others. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's always nice to find someone who just gets it. And it does just feel like we're talking off air, like just chatting about stuff.
Yeah, it's right. We're like, having a cup of coffee or whatever, and we're just chatting and laughing, and absolutely. And a lot of comments coming in from all of our viewers and from the Fantoines, the lovelies, everybody. Thank you very much for all these wonderful comments, and Jonathan sees them and I see them and we all see them here and throughout, and we really, really appreciate it. And it's so nice, the wonderful words, and you're all beautiful people, and we value you and acknowledge you. Jonathan does as well.
Yeah, it's funny seeing all these names that I'm recognizing them all from all these years, and it's magic. It's magic.
When people are supportive and people like what you do and they want more of it, it's an absolutely beautiful thing, It is. It really is magic. Yeah. And thanks to everybody for all of these wonderful conversations, allowing us to eavesdrop. Exactly. Yeah. You're a part of it as well. And Kathleen in New York City, one of our lovelies. Thank you, Kathleen. Always wonderful to have you here. She was with us. She's with us all the time, like every single episode of our series, but she was with us on the first time too. And was that a sound effect or was that real?
So someone, they're after someone out there. I was trying to turn my microphone down so it didn't blast any
Well,
eardrums.
wait, you're the action hero with the action figures. Should you go out and
Oh no!
rescue them? There goes Antoine, the action hero.
Here I go. Oh dear.
There used to be a very popular in New York City, same last name too. His name was Tex, Tex, Tex Antoine, and he was a very popular meteorologist and weatherman in New York City for ABC and some of the other channels. And because you don't hear that name all the time, what's the derivation of that last name, Antoine?
I believe it's just French for Anthony. I think at
That's
least. Yeah.
right. That's right. So you have your English, but what are the other things
Well,
within you?
so I'm a quarter black. That's my dad's side. So
Right.
that's where it comes from. And obviously the father lineage being the last name. So yeah, I think it will have come from the Caribbeans. Yeah, I'm not. It's funny actually. Someone made a family tree. I've told this story a couple of times, but my mum's side, back like 3-4 generations, is all filled out and got names and dates and all that. And my dad's side, you get like 2 generations in, and it's sort of kind of
Right.
flies to the wind. It's yeah, very interesting. Says
You know,
says a lot.
well, if you dig, and a lot of people are, we have a huge family on my mother's side too. My mother's the youngest of 16. So big, big, big family on that side and both sides of the family. If you dig deep enough, there's so many things that we think we are, but then you find more things along the way. Like I've always known that I'm English, Irish, Swedish, and French. But then, if you dig deeper, I mean, some folks, I think they've seen some Finnish in there and some other, if you dig deep enough, we are all related. We are all family. Our blood is red.
Well, yeah, we had to come from somewhere. Whether it's whichever story of creation you happen to believe, we all came from. And a lot of the times that's. Wait a minute. You kind of think, wait, hold on a second.
Right.
But there's a beauty in that, of course, right? It's the brotherhood of man that we are all, if you followed it all back down, it'd all come, down to one tiny little germ on, at the bottom of the sea or something. And, we're all together. There is no need for divisions amongst us.
Exactly right. Let's start a movement between the Loveties and the Fantoines and bring all that together, and how powerful that is, because the world is a little upside down right now and a lot of craziness going on around the world. And we see, how people are treating each other and how they're not treating each other. And just, if that's not the kind of world you want, the only way that can change is through us helping to change it, however little that is or however big that is. It's up to us to make changes in a positive way, and that's what life should be positive.
Yeah.
It's short and it's fragile.
Yeah, funny enough, the more you do it, the more you realize just how short it is. Right.
That works for a lot of things, Jonathan.
Yeah, it sure does.
It's always good to end on a high note.
Right, exactly.
That's it. So, left-handed people unite once again, my buddy. Here we go. Across the pond from Great Britain to America and everybody watching around the world. Jonathan Antoine, you are a star. And truly, even more than that, a great guy, and thoroughly enjoyed this. And I hope you enjoyed the time with me and all of us. It really was a pleasure. And we're going to, as I always say, and we lived up to it, we keep the porch light on for you. So you're welcome back anytime. And I truly hope the show met whatever expectations you had, and you had as much of a grand time with me as I have with you, my friend.
Exceeds expectations every time. The Triple E. You got it.
I love that. I love that. And as my dad has always said, and he told me when I was 7 years old, this sage advice: He says, Jim, always remember when somebody says something nice to you, ask them, well, first thank them. Be sure and make sure you thank them because they took the time to say something nice and positive. But then ask them to please put those words in writing and address them management.
Well, luckily, this is all recorded.
It's all there.
There you
It's in perpetuity, right? I want to let folks know as well. There is the website. All the music is there. There it is. Check it out. You can go to Amazon too and elsewhere. But there is his fabulous website. There's videos, there's music, there's news updates, there's all kinds of cool things. He's very interactive with everybody. Make sure you check that out. We've been sprinkling that in throughout the show. And again, the discography just continues to grow. The music continues to grow. And then other cool things, the documentary, voice work, other stuff, action hero with action figures coming soon, all kinds of cool stuff that is happening. It's nice. And I think the hit of the entire conversation, and of course we have Willow and Polly and Pandora, the hit, you and I were okay, but it's the wall hanging behind you.
Yeah.
That was the hit of the entire conversation, my friend.
Absolutely. That's the spirit of Mum. Mum's mojo, her magic there.
I tell you, she knows what she's doing, and personally thank her for me. Maybe one of these days we'll get a chance to meet if I'm over there, or because my travels take me all over the world too. So hopefully we'll meet and truly give her a big hug and thank me for working with me and us to put this together as well. She's a gem of a lady.
That she is. I don't know. Again, what did I do to get so lucky in this life, eh?
You showed up.
Showed up.
They called your number and you showed up. That's it. We are here. Master of the universe with masters of the universe. How cool is that, huh?
Very nice.
All right, my friend. You're the best. Thanks again for being with us. And thanks to everybody watching, commenting. If you joined us late, again, no worries. The entire thing is recorded, archived. You can come to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, see it in full, share it, leave comments on the channel for us. It helps us grow. And peruse our other episodes, binge watch some amazing celebrity friends and guests from Hollywood, television, Broadway, music, film, stage, sports, comedy, food, all here. And another episode with Jonathan as my guest previously as well, which was also lots and lots of fun. Folks saying their see you laters from all around the world, my friend. And this is really, I love this. Never heard Jim before, but he is a person to remember.
Yes.
Is that your cousin writing that, Jonathan? You've got great cousins. He's writing. Yeah. Thank you very much, Gene. I appreciate that. And that's what it is. Everybody learns about everybody here. And well played. I
spread
like
love. Go out there, ladies and gentlemen, and spread love.
Yes, that's right. Take care. Love to you. That's what they're saying here. This is nice. I tell you, huh?
It's beautiful.
So everybody's going to want to know, Jonathan, what are you going to do next? Now, for us, it's 4 p.m. Eastern. We started this at 2 Eastern, which was 7 your time. So we really appreciate it. So so it's 9. It's 9 there, right? 9. So are you going to have a snack? Everybody's going to want to know, what is Jonathan going to do next as soon as he wraps up with Jim Masters?
I will probably spend the next.
Go to sleep?
No, I'll probably spend the next hour at least, obsessively looking at all the comments and everything that's gone down, and seeing how happy everyone is, and then maybe I'll have a snack or dinner, and then I'll probably have a little nap, and be up probably quite early to do my steps.
That is cool. I love that. I love that. Do you do cycling at all too? I love cycling. I love getting on the bike and cycling, and I love tennis as well.
We've got a bike. We've got a standing bike, but it's more for my sister.
Yeah.
I've got myself a treadmill, a really
Good.
beautiful one.
Yeah.
I like, I like I like to get places as well. So I've got the options. Got options, and I've got this incredible ski machine. It's like a rower, but you stand upright. It knocks
It,
me
it
out.
knocks you out, right?
Yeah, but it's really good for the heart, which is I think what I need. And
Right.
yeah, with all luck and all ability and strength and desire to continue forward, I will. You'll see someone very different in the next interview.
Do you? Absolutely. We'll have you back real soon, too. Do you? Now, I bet your inquiring minds want to know, does Jonathan Antoine sing in the shower and does he sing in the car?
Honestly, yes, sometimes to both. I've got to be in the right mood, and I honestly, a lot of the times I'm taking baths at the minute. And you can't really sing in the bath. It's a different thing, right? You're not enclosed. When you're enclosed in the shower, you get all that reverberation. It's very special, but so well. Hopefully, once all the construction's done, I will be doing a little bit more singing in the shower.
Singing in the shower.
Uh,
That is it.
uh,
Well, continued success, as everybody is saying. We appreciate everybody doing the comments. This is in our chat section here, the chat room. Don't forget to leave a comment on the actual channel itself. Happiest of birthdays to you. Let's stay in touch. Don't be a stranger. You can stop back here at any time, my friend. And since it is just a couple of weeks from the birthday, maybe everybody at home, we can't hear you, but in spirit around the world, maybe we can say a very happy birthday to Jonathan Antoine as he's still basking in the glow of, don't you like that nice Miami tan he has? Yachting around. If you didn't see the picture of
Just a
him on the
touch.
yacht, the family yacht, the Antoine yacht,
Not
the
quite.
Antoine
Not
yacht.
quite. Not quite.
Well, not yet, right?
One day. One day.
One day we will be doing this show
On
on the yacht in our swimming clothes
Oh,
and just relaxing with the sunset. I'm Jim Masters. This is Jonathan.
this is me, Jonathan Antoine, with my six-pack abs.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
we'll get there. We'll get
You
there.
heard it here first, folks. So let's wish him a happy birthday, everybody, and let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jonathan. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my friend. How was that? Did I pass the
Beautiful.
test?
You passed flying colors. Flying colors.
Thank you very much.
My
Mrs.
stuff.
Sebastian in music class in elementary school, 6th grade, told me, Jim or James, you're an alto. So it was my pleasure to sing you happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you. I genuinely appreciate that.
The
Means a lot.
pleasure is
Thank you.
my pleasure is all mine. I was thinking about it the whole time, and I said, "When can I squeeze it in?" Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And there's all the happy birthdays coming your way.
Oh, look at them. All these lovely people.
I tell you, good stuff. So my pleasure to sing you happy birthday, my friend, and
My
you
pleasure
be
to
well.
be here. Thank you. You too.
My pleasure,
well.
my pleasure. And thank everybody for all these great comments. And Marilyn Monroe's got nothing on you, Jim.
Hey,
Hey,
that
hey.
was
Thank you
pretty
very much.
sultry. Pretty
Thank you,
sultry.
A sultriness on a Saturday.
That's what you need.
That's it. Jonathan, you be well. All right. Take care.
You too.
Take good care. Be well. Stay in touch. And thanks again for all the time. Always a blessing and a pleasure.
Oh, right back at you. Always, always. All my love. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, of course.
Absolutely. You be well, my friend. We'll talk again soon. Okay.
Talk soon.
Cheers. Jonathan Antoine. We even got a chance to sing him happy birthday. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Well, I've done that a couple of times before. I've sung happy birthday to some of our guests. I've sung with our guests, which is kind of cool as well. And yeah, that's something that I haven't really shared a lot of on this series that I do, that I love to sing as well. And I've sung over the years, and I haven't done a lot of singing on this show, but maybe we'll share some more with you. But it was a pleasure to do that for Jonathan. Gang, we're going to take a look at some more of the comments coming in here. They're wonderful comments, and we really appreciate them all. And hope you enjoyed this conversation. We appreciate it. As we say, we call these, conversations. They go even beyond the typical interview because they're free flowing, they're conversational, nothing is scripted. And we even got a chance to sing a little bit here on the Jim Masters Show Live series. Binge watch. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of past shows with celebrity friends and guests who stop by the Jim Masters Show from all around the world. Check it out. I think you will absolutely love it. You'll be surprised by some of the amazing guests who we've had here on the Jim Masters Show Live series. Don't forget, we would love it if you give this episode a thumbs up like on the YouTube channel. Share this episode with your friends on your social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment underneath this episode. Engage with us. Comment. What did you enjoy about this show? What do you enjoy about the Jim Masters Show Live series? Is this your first time watching? If it is, we welcome you. If you've been watching our entertainment, lifestyle, celebrity talk show series ever since we started it 1,000+ episodes ago, well, thanks for your loyalty. It's always wonderful to have you here. And we thank our good friend, the one and only Jonathan Antoine, for stopping by live from England. Again, don't worry, gang, if you missed anything or you would like to see this again or you came in late, don't worry. It's archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, where all of the episodes are. Again, we thank Jonathan for being with us. We had a lot of laughs. We sort of have conversations that go in a lot of different directions, a lot of humor, a lot of information, a lot of breaking news, things mentioned that you might not have ever known about our guest, and even about me, your host, as I am conversational as well, and I share with all of you and with our guests. And also, we update you on new exciting things that are happening. You get a chance to hear a little bit about the life behind the image, which is also great as well. And, learn a little bit more about our guests and about yourself along the way, too, which I think is really, really cool. So that's what we do around here at Lovity Hall, the Jim Masters Show Live series. And as we kick off our new season, we've been doing this series as of now for almost 4 years. And we've done about almost 2,000 episodes, which is amazing and counting. But I just got back from I work in television, radio station, film here in America professionally. And I've just been on a whirlwind of travel. So I say hello to all of our regular viewers. Thanks for joining us as we kick our new season of our entertainment, lifestyle, celebrity talk show series off. But I was just in Seattle, Washington, in the beautiful Pacific Northwest of America on a major television shoot and series there. And then just co-hosted another new national television series that I've been cast to host. And we filmed 4 episodes of that. And so I've been just, with all the things I do in the industry, I've been so busy with the television and radio work, and a lot of travel, a lot of studio work, but I love it. You guys know, who have known me before I started the Jim Masters Show series here on the internet, those who have followed me, that I love what I do what I love, and I love to inspire and bring us together and have humor, but also learn something, celebrate life, celebrate people, and share it with all of you. And it's really a beautiful experience. And, I've met a lot of wonderful people through this series too, and in all of my work, but so many faithful viewers who watch our show all the time and they support it. You can support it also with a super chat, super emoji, super sticker in the Lovity Hall chat room. That helps us as well. And there's also super thanks. That's the little heart icon on the YouTube channel. You can click that. That helps support what we do. But it's just the love of doing this, coming at you as often as we can. There's times we've done the show 7 days a week. We've done 2 episodes a day. Just amazing when I look back myself in review of all the guests and all the conversations and all the openness and authenticity that has happened here on our show. Let's take a look at some of the wonderful comments that are continuing to pour in here live. And again, if you missed that, leaving a comment, feel free to comment on the YouTube channel in the comments section. That really helps us grow, and share the episode. Give it a like. Thank you sincerely, Jim. Love this. Perfect, Rhonda. I am so happy that you loved it. It was my pleasure to bring it together for all of you. Thank you, Pam, watching in Maryland, USA. Kathleen Walker in New York City. She is a real faithful Jim Master Show Levity fan. Super sticker. She just did a super sticker in our chat room, Levity Hall chat room. Thank you very much. That's so kind of you, Kathleen. Really appreciate that. Love to you as well. Patty Smith. Thank you, Jim, from France. This was fantastic. I did enjoy this. Was my first time, your first time watching the Jim Masters Show live series. Come back and see us again on the YouTube channel. The name of the show is The Jim Masters Show. I'm Jim Masters, and it originates from here in America in the New York area on the East Coast. And the name of the YouTube channel is Jim Masters TV. So when you're Googling, looking for us, go to Jim Masters TV. Also, all of my, Jonathan's on all the social media. You can check him out there. All of my social media, if you'd like to follow and like, and I'm at Jim Masters TV on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter. It's all Jim Masters TV. So come say hi and interact with us there. We're very interactive there as well. Thank you so much to Kathleen in New York. And thank you, Carla, watching in beautiful Brazil. Hey, Carla, it's so nice to see you here as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. We love when Carla is here. This was marvelous, Jim. You bring out the best in everyone. I aim to do that, and I'm so glad you noticed that. And thank you for your kind and loving words as well. And again, we really appreciate Jonathan for joining us here on the show. Again, let us know what you enjoyed about the show. Maybe you learned something new. Maybe you just like the way we do the show. It is special. It is unique. We don't call these just interviews. We have real conversations with our guests and with all of you. So let's take a look at a couple of more comments here. I really appreciate everything that you guys are saying here. Marilyn says we'll be watching again. Thank you very much. Thanks for all of the fanfare also on social media, all the excitement. I appreciate that. Liz, thank you. Liz Compton, a wonderful interview from you both. Keep safe, both. XX, right back at you. We appreciate that. So nice to say that. Jean, thank you very much. Jean LeBlanc, giving Jonathan so much space to ventilate his thoughts. I like that. To ventilate his thoughts. That is a good way to put it. I love to do that for all of our guests, Jean. That's what, I do professionally, and what I do here on this series. And I really appreciate that you notice that. You don't see me reading anything. I'm reading comments, but you don't see this very stagnant and claustrophobic where everything is all so scripted and everything is just rehearsed. We're having warm conversations here. And more coming in. Sally Ann Adams, good night, and thank you, Jim, for a wonderful evening with you and Jonathan. XXX, right back at you. We want to say hello to everybody watching around the world. Our viewers come from here in the United States, and our neighbors to the north in Canada, our neighbors to the south in Mexico, throughout South America, North America. We have a fan base that watches JMS throughout Europe and Asia and Africa and Australia and New Zealand. We welcome you all, and it's so good to see you here and being so positive and interactive with us. It really, truly means the world, and it makes us want to continue doing this for all of you. Thank you very much again, Jean. And Astrid, thank you. So nice to see you here. Viewers watching today from all over Netherlands and France and Germany and Australia and the United Kingdom and Sweden and America and Canada and all the rest. And Tina V, wonderful chat, Jonathan, Jim, our pleasure. Marilyn, thank you very much. Peggy, nice to see you here. You're now, all of you, if anybody is new to our show, you're now a Jim Masters Show lovety. Even if you're a fan, Antoine, you're also a lovety now. Isn't that cool? You can wear your lovety love on your sleeve. Thank you very much for these great comments. Really, really appreciate them. And just so many here coming in. Nancy Martinez, she was very excited. Wonderful interview. And again, I sang happy birthday to Jonathan. And I had planned to do that, wanted to do it for him because his birthday was just a couple of weeks ago. He's now 29. Again, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Liz and all of this. Haiti, thank you very much. Marilyn, thank you very much. So nice. And I like that. Marilyn Monroe's got nothing. That was sort of a sultry version of happy birthday to you. Yeah, I think I went the sultry route with that particular one. Good stuff. You guys are terrific. Memory Mobley. Right? Yeah, that's cool. What a great, I love that. Beautiful name. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Tina. Tina V. Tina C. and everybody watching. All these great. Bravo. Livia Jones, thank you very much. And everybody here on the Jim Masters Show, and Sherry and Merlin and Jane, our loveties here at the Jim Masters Show, and others watching around the world. Haiti was watching from New York City. So you're right here in our area, the New York tri-state area is where we are. And Groovy Joan, I love that. Groovy Joan. Thank you, Jim, for this lovely interview with Jonathan Antoine. So nice to see you, Groovy Joan, here live on our show. And Alice Tucker is with us. Lovely chat, Jim and Jonathan, and thanks so much. The pleasure is all mine, Alice. We really appreciate you being here as well. And just wonderful, wonderful comments coming in. Sonia McDonald says, you guys are such fun. Love you both, Jim and Jonathan. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Jonathan had a good time. So did I. And Haley, watching from New Zealand. Thank you very much. And of course, Jane watching from Sweden. Thank you, Jane. Lovely Jane. And Mary Johnson says, oh, yes, please. This has been fabulous. More, more, more. Remember that song from the Andrea Drew Connection? More, more, more. How do you like it? How do you like it? And it got me singing, gang. Another fantastic show from Ms. Pat in Texas, USA. Ms. Pat, it's always nice when you're here on the Jim Masters Show live series. Nancy says, I've so much enjoyed this interview with Jonathan and you, Jim. Thank you very much, Nancy. And I like how a lot of you were mentioning where you were watching from, which I think was really, really cool. Maria, yes, we are all family. Yes. Edna, so beautifully said, just a friendly get-together. It's exactly what this is. And Mary says, we are in this together. We sure are. And Jonathan and I were alluding to that fact. And Rhonda, thank you very much. Thank you, Jim and Jonathan, for this fabulous interview, sharing your time with all of us. Our pleasure. Elizabeth, thank you, Jim and Jonathan, for a wonderful interview and conversation. Always thoughtful. Thank you very much. That's what we aim for. Sandy, thank you. We appreciate that. Luella, thank you very much for your beautiful comments. And it's so nice to have you here, Luella, as well. Very, very nice. Debbie, thank you. And Patty Smith, thank you. And yeah, you know, and Carol Fox, excellent interview. Thank you very much. And Madge Britt, thank you very much too. Thank you so much, Jonathan and Jim. and Nancy. Wonderful interview. Bye, Jonathan, Jim Masters, and everyone. Till next time. Yeah, we'll be back. We have so many great guests coming up this week. Wow, we're going to be posting those promos soon. But legendary people, brand new people from all kinds of incredible celebrity levels are going to be with us. It has been a joy, such a joy, so natural and comfortable. Thank you both. XX from Peggy, Wagstaff. Thank you, Patty. Smith, it's funny. I have a cousin, and that's her name, Patty Smith. Patricia, Pat Smith. Is amazing, right? And that's one of my cousins. She's not my cousin, although we're all related, right? On my father's side, we have a Patricia Smith, who's a cousin of mine. Thank you, Jim and Jonathan. This was brilliant. And yes, Glennis Higgins, thank you. You're welcome, Glennis. So nice to have you here. Rhonda appreciates the afternoon. We appreciate you being here, Rhonda. Jan Smith, thank you both for a great evening of conversation, allowing us to eavesdrop. We showed that earlier. I just love that one. Really, really nice. And Jean says, tears now. That's very touching that you've been moved by the conversation. I really, really appreciate that. Great show from Kathleen. So glad we're back. Yes, I was away on television work, and now we're back as we kick off a new season of the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show Series. Thank you, Haiti. Thank you, Jim and Jonathan, for this amazing interview. We appreciate that. Right back at you. That's amore. We feel like family. Thank you, Tina. Oh, we are lucky to have you here, Sonia McDonald. We were lucky to have you with us. Come back and see us again, folks. Take a look at our past episodes. Take a look at the other episode that Jonathan was on and all the other celebrity friends and guests from the worlds of, again, music and television, film, child stars. We have chefs on our show. We have sports stars. We have comedians, psychics, everything. Just like a talk show series. Thank you, Jim and Jonathan. Maria, thank you. Jonathan said he was going to have, I think, a light snack, right? And probably feed the cats, Willow, Polly, and Pandora. They weren't his backup singers, unless they meow when he's singing. And then I think he said he was going to do some work and then work on the guitar and then maybe take a little nap because it is later, in the UK. And the reason why we did our show at the time we did it earlier is so those of you who are in later time zones around the world can join us live. I know, you can watch the show at any time when it's not live, but some of you, I know you want to interact with us. And sometimes we show the comments. And so you wanted to be with us while the episode is live. So to give you that opportunity, we did our show at an earlier time. So you can be with us and join in on the levity and the fun. Beat is here. Hemmingson, thank you, Jim and Jonathan, for a great and inspiring interview. Thank you for those wonderful comments, Beat. Maria, she says, thank you, Jim and Jonathan. Thank you very much as well. Marianne, thank you. Great interview. Thank you, Jim and Jonathan. Jonathan sees these comments as I do as well. And Marilyn says, thank you both. Brilliant interview. Thank you. And Tina V, many more years to come. Absolutely. Good health. Take care of one another. Love one another. We say that all the time on the Jim Masters Show Live series. Have loved this interview, Jim and Jonathan. Sally Ann Adams, XXX. Thank you both. It's been fantastic. Peggy, thank you. Oh boy, our hearts are filled. Mine and I know Jonathan's as well. Roger, thank you, Roger. Pleasure to have you here, Roger. And anybody that's new, we welcome you to the family here at the Jim Masters Show Live series. Thanks for the interview, Jim. Appreciate it much. And you have a great evening, Jonathan. And thank you. Take care, everyone. Thank you. And Patty Smith, thank you. Love always. Bless your soul. Bless yours back. And Jerry, thank you for your kind words. Jim, you have the best interviews. Thank you. Thank you for those beautiful comments. We appreciate that. It's so nice of you to say that. Cool. Duly noted and appreciated and valued. Thank you for a great interview. Love the information. Glennis, thank you. Pam says she can always tell fake from real. So can we. Pam is one of our Jim Master Show lovities. You have the best guests, Jim. Thank you. Rhonda, thank you very much. Appreciate that. You guys love the words. Jeanette says, my pleasure to tune in. Our pleasure to have you here. Sonia saved it already. Fabulous. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all the rest. Big philosopher. Absolutely. That's what we love to do. Jonathan as well. Crossing all borders and unites all people in every corner of the world. You got that right. Jonathan and I connected nicely on our very first episode together where he was a guest. You can see that episode on our YouTube channel. And Nancy says, what an amazingly beautiful interview. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Again, so kind. All these wonderful comments coming in here. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of folks around the world who love our series and watch and comment and support from all walks of life, all different backgrounds, all nations. And we thank you very, very much. Spread the word. Tell all your friends about the Jim Masters Show Live series. We appreciate all these beautiful words. It's so kind of you. Really, really kind of you. It moves our heart and our soul and makes us want to keep doing it. You enjoyed listening. Thank you very much. And thank you, Roger. Thank you, Jim, again. First time on the show as well. I live west of Chicago, Western Illinois. Hey, gang, if you love all the stars from Celtic Woman and Celtic Thunder, they've all been on our show as well. Check those. They're all friends of mine. I've interviewed them on PBS for years. Celtic Woman and Celtic Thunder, they've been here as well. Check those episodes out. It's nice to see you there in the Windy City, just west of Chicago. It's Carnival in Brazil, but you couldn't miss this show. So you're pausing your Carnival in beautiful Brazil, Carla. So nice to have you here again. And it's Carnival there in Brazil. Loved you in Brazil. And she couldn't miss this show. Thank you very much. And please give my previous comment to management. I definitely will. Our shows are on at different times, but if you ever miss anything, we always post the shows on the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and the times we're going to be on. Did you like this time, Patty? This was a special episode on the weekend, too. I was actually on a television shoot and a TV news interview. A guest flew in from Detroit, Michigan to the East Coast here, and I was in the TV studio this morning since 8 a.m. Interviewing and hosting for a television news series that I am a host of in New York, and a radio series as well. So I went from that television studio this morning for professional work and then ran right here to the Jim Masters Show to do this show for all of you. I have not had breakfast and I have not had lunch yet, and it's 4:30 in the afternoon. I am hungry. I am starving. That's why I asked Jonathan if he was going to have a snack. I am going to have dinner and lunch. I think all I had was a cup of tea in the studio and a cup of coffee in the morning because I was interviewing a guest for the TV news series, one of the many hats I wear here in America. And so I don't know about you, gang, but thanks for sticking with us. If you're hungry, go make a sandwich. Go have a snack. You work up an appetite hosting a show like this. It is time to eat. Maybe I should have some Swedish meatballs, Jane, since you're in Sweden. I do love Swedish meatballs. This is so nice. Yeah, this is really, really great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very kind. And watching from New Zealand and all around the world. And yes, you keep track. We will post for you. When you subscribe to our YouTube channel, very important, gang. If you want to you never miss an episode of our show when they're live, click If you look at our YouTube channel, you see it says subscribe. Click subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything. You are a valued member of our family here, our lovely family at the Jim Master Show when you subscribe. And thanks to the thousands of subscribers, we've had so many people, thousands of people who have recently subscribed to our YouTube channel, and they're commenting and liking and sharing. And we thank you so very much from all around the world, Philippines, from everywhere. Click the notification bell icon. There's a little bell icon. Click that. And when you click that, that way there, you get notifications from us about all of our episodes. You get advanced notification about our guests, our episodes, so you never miss out on being with us if you want to be with us live. But again, based on your schedule, if you ever miss the shows when they're live, never worry, because all of our shows are saved and archived exclusively on the YouTube channel, so you can watch and enjoy. And I love seeing all these people that are still with us and enjoying. This is really, really nice. This was a perfect time for you. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate that. Amazing interview. Thank you very much. And Memory Mobley, thank you for this incredible conversation. Truly, just like sitting in a living room with friends. The best to you with a heart. Thank you. That's my style. That's my vibe. It's like we're all together, gang, in the living room, having some snacks, laughing and talking and sharing with our guests and with all of you. That's kind of my vibe. So we share it with you here on the Jim Masters Show live series. Cool. And yeah, really, really nice, gang. Time for you to go to bed, right? Well, sweet dreams to you. Absolutely nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody watching around the world. And so really, really nice. And hopefully we didn't miss any. You enjoyed listening. And everybody watching around the world, this was really nice. Glad you enjoyed yourselves. And come back and see us again. We love you all. We appreciate you all. And this was really a wonderful, wonderful conversation. Again, Jonathan Antoine was our guest here on the show. This was his second time. He's a big fan of our show. We're a big fan of his, and he's a great friend and a pleasure to have here. So thanks for being with us. And again, let's throw this up again there, JonathanAntoineMusic.com. Check out all of the discography, all the music and everything else. Keep abreast of what he's doing, and find me again on social media at Jim Masters TV. We thank you so very much for being with us, gang, here on the show. Really, it was an honor and a pleasure. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the rest. We appreciate you being with us. And those of you who have done that, it's a blessing. All right, this is your host, Jim Masters, coming to you from America, from Lovely Hall, and the home to the Jim Masters Show live series. Really, really enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it too, let us know. Leave a comment for us. Show us some levity. And come by. We'll keep the porch light on for you too. Stop by and see us again. Nice to be back for our new season of fresh episodes of the Jim Masters Show live entertainment, lifestyle, celebrity talk show series. That's a mouthful. All you have to do is say the Jim Masters Show. That's it. Just say which way. There it is. Just say that. And you're in. We love you all from wherever you're watching. We really appreciate you all. You are very welcome, Patty and Kathleen. You as well. All right. Be well. Take care of one another. Love one another. We'll see you on the next episode. It's a pleasure to have you here at the Jim Masters Show live series. This is Jim Masters thanking you for your time this time. Till next time. Come see us again. Be well and cheers.